A guard rushes in front of you, and before you can flinch, the point of a sharp spear draws a bead of blood from the artery in your neck.
Halt! State your name.
Oh, for goodness sake, woman, lower your spear. That isn't
Isbiel, I've not known you to be so welcome.
Have I yet to disappoint your highness in matters of security?
Your Majesty?
Do as she says. Lower your spear.
Yes, of course. I'm watching you. One misstep and I will have your head.
Your Highness, Bloom of Duna, Flame of the Forge, I present to you the Lone Wolf, the Silver Claw, Hifan.
Queen Justinia sucks in her cheeks, then offers you her unwavering hand. The Queen bids you rise with an upwards flick of her hand.
An audience is granted. I am yet too intrigued to give my leave. Now tell me, Isbiel, why do you allow this man before me?
My queen, the human specimen before you is a godwoken, a claimant to the divine throne.
The Queen wrinkles her face and gives Isbael a sideways glance. Isbael's red-brown eyes meet her gaze head-on.
Many have laid claim to Lucian's legacy, including his own inferior spawn. I presume our visitor has more than a vague title to boast of.
The Queen opens her mouth as if to speak, but her companion shushes her and raises an index finger.
Whatever Lohar might have told you is neither here nor there. Now then, we adhere to a certain decorum in this court. I am certain you understand.
Isbael clears her throat and continues her litany.
The Godwoken has proven himself a worthy combatant in the joys arena of the One. His name was on the lips of all who roamed there.
I appreciate the effort in gaining the respect of one's fellow refugees. You have my attention, Godwoken, if not my adulation. I don't wish to minimize your struggles. But do remember, I benight women and men who have overcome obstacles far greater. Isbiel, is there more to tell?
He has escaped the island prison to which the Order confined him, a feat deserving a modicum of respect.
A refugee from the Joy, then. Impressive. Few avoid the Magisters' watchful eyes. Can this Godwoken declare other triumphs, Isbiel?
Isbael returns to her review of your adventures.
The Godwoken arrogated the Lady Vengeance, the very vessel that terrorized the high seas under the Hammer's command.
The Queen's eyes grow wide, and she nods appreciatively, then looks to Isbael to continue the ovations.
The Godwoken has slain his very own. Alexandar, son of the Lake Divine, has fallen to his superior might.
Indeed. Slayed by your hand, then. The cub once pleaded with me to aid in his sorcerer pogrom, Silverclaw. I cannot deplore your actions, as loath as I am to admit it.
Such an excellent question, but a bit premature, don't you? Goodness, I've met street urchins with more manners. I think you'd have more respect for ceremony. Well, I see no reason to mince words, Godwoken. You're here to die.
Isbiel, whatever's gotten into you? Malodorous it may be, but this is still a court, not a gallows.
Your Majesty, the Godwoken is no ally, but enemy. He would throw your plans in disarray. You have worked so hard. Arcs must fall to the death fog.
I am no monster. Isbiel, what say you?
Justinia turns to Isbael, looking for answers or comfort. and Isbale begins to chuckle. Her laugh is low and measured at first, but grows in magnitude until she can barely breathe.
But you're a clever one, aren't you, Ifan? Fine. I'm tired of pretending I serve this weak wench anyway. But it doesn't matter. You can't stop the death fog.
Isbeel?
Shut your royal maw, Justinia. Arcs will fall and your memory writ. They will believe it was your will, your plan, your command.
For a moment, Isbale appears almost relaxed. Her eyes flash blue, her face quivers.
Isbeel?
My queen, forgive me,
Isbale screams in pain and clutches her head. She bobs and sways, muttering to herself. You can make out few words, but you recognize the language. It is the eternal tongue.
The covenant will be kept. I serve you with living and dying breath. My king, glory be to you.
You blink yourself awake to the cold gaze of 1,000 stones and the hot gaze of the dwarf Isbale, right hand of the queen.
Oh, good. You are awake. Yeah, at first I figured I'd just kill you. But then I thought, Isbeel, you're wasting an opportunity here. Don't bother thanking me just yet, though. I dare say you'll be begging to die before long. So I'll start with lesser toxins, just to see how you react, and take it from there. How strong a dose can a Godwoken handle? How long does it take for one to succumb? So many questions.
Your lips open, but no words spill forth. You try to lift your head, but it is no match for gravity. She has paralyzed you. Only your eyes are free to move.
Don't fight it. You'll only make things worse. Oh, but I've been so rude. You should know the real me. Oh, it's good to give myself a rest. Those masks can be darned pesky.
Every ounce of energy within you evaporates. You have no more control over your own source than you do of your flaccid body.
Do try to relax. The harder you fight, the harder the experiment will be.
You struggle to move, and you feel your toes wiggle, and your fingers twitch. The paralysis is waning.
Interesting. Some of the results are quite unexpected. Now, let's move on to death fog. Live or die, you've already proven most... Well, I was going to say useful, but perhaps entertaining is the better word.
Isbale turns the valve, but no fog wafts forth. In that moment, you feel your bones and muscles awaken. You've regained control of your body at last.
What's wrong with it? Guards! Come! The Godwoken's broken free!
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
I'm watching you. One misstep and I will have your head.
Are you sure? At this most sensitive hour?
Rubbish.
Where are all the prisoners? Where did they go? This ain't fair! Let me out!
Well, hello again. Welcome to my very, very humble abode. Yes, I heard it too. The man has some curious ideas about what constitutes treason. I refuse to raise a hand against fellow members of the Divine Order. Refuse to buy into Kemm's lie that they're all Black Ring puppets. Kemm's always been a hard man. His steel was forged in the war with the Black Ring. But recently there's something else. He's turned cold. Not cruel, exactly, just harsh. Dispassionate to a fault. They say it's the Void Woken, that he's too worried about Rivellon to worry about people. Maybe that's it. Or maybe years of fighting finally broke him. Your guess is as good as mine. Although, I've heard whispers. There are places in Kemm's mansion that nobody goes but him. One has to wonder what he gets up to. Tension? That hatred has been simmering for years. The Paladins see the Magisters as a threat to their order. Pig farmers leading lords, as they say. But now that some white Magisters have been found colluding with the Black Ring, now that Kemm has his excuse, it's war. It's not just the city. The Divine Order is coming undone at the seams. There's never been much love lost between the Paladins and the Magisters, but this... Too many Paladins from noble families, and too many Magisters that started as working folk. Of course, the Paladins were the first recruits of Lucian. So, many saw the Magisters rising through the ranks as a threat to their order. Pig farm. But now that some white Magisters have been found colluding with the Black Ring, now that Kemm has his excuse, it's war. I'll see you again, I hope.
The sewer's running as red as the street.
Look at the size of that thing!
Want to buy some stuff? Want to sell some stuff? If you're looking for Kat, she's evaluating all of Kemm's antiquities. It'll be a while, but hey, why not do some shopping while you wait? You'll love what I've got. Well, this is the estate of the venerable Kemms. We've all come to trade with Linder and his missus, but with recent events, let's just say they're busy. But Kat's inside. She'll come up with something. She's an appraiser, and our boss to boot. You'll meet her if you head inside. If you've got anything she's interested in, could be she'll make you a good deal.
He looks around covertly, before turning back to you with a wink.
Could be a really good deal. Good stuff, yeah?
I hear water. At least, I hope it's water.
Kat's still not back, but you can always check out my wares while you wait.
Not every detail is visible through the terrarium's hazed glass.
God, make Holy Mother of Divine, that's loud! I won't do much...
Sorry about that, but it had to be done.
will pay with your life!
Heirlooms and antiquities.
Yes, Callisti. Such a beauty. Well, look around. My privilege, of course. What do you say,
The poet tipped.
Now, what pot? Take a seat, Rav. Make yourself at home. Give me a moment to clear my throat. And listen. You spilled the...
Several bystanders begin to chatter and giggle.
Holy Mother of Divine, that's loud!
Make it stop!
I won't do much sneaking with this in my pocket. Sorry about that, but it had to be done. I won't do much sneaking with this in my pocket. Sorry about that, but it had to be done.
The lizard hums a lizard melody. You do not find it unpleasant, but you do not recognize its air. The trader looks at the mansion behind her nervously. then back to you.
Looking for, something special? Am I that transparent? I'm a little on edge, it's true.
She nods to the looming estate.
See behind me? That's Linder Kemm's mansion. And if Cat's to be believed, Kemm's got something valuable in there. So valuable that if we can find it, we'd be set for life. She's in there now, looking for this thing. I don't know what it is, but Cat promises our lives are about to change for the better. She's an appraiser, and a damn good one at that. Kemm's obsessed with his own riches. He brings Cat in to tell him how much his collection's worth. Then, but people like Kemm...
She responds.
Alarm! Fetch Papa! Alarm! Alarm!
The puppet looks at you with what almost amounts to curiosity.
You're not supposed to be here. Just what do you think you're doing?
Alarm! Alarm! It's...
My eye, you got lost. What are you really doing up here? Get out, and don't let me catch you here again.
Alarm! Fetch Papa! Alarm! Fetch
You shouldn't have come here.
The desk is locked tight. You take a nearby quill and dip it into an inkwell. Then you poise its tip over the framed square of parchment. The black ink turns... She nods a greeting.
Anything important? The whites must have shot something I didn't want found. Nothing more. It doesn't wait for my damn time.
This fire was set on purpose.
The plaque reads 4, Loyalty to the Divine.
Order of society, the Magisters say. Not much bloody.
The plaque reads Purity of Mind.
Look out. I see a trap nearby.
Fools! They aren't even looking in the right spot. They'll never find what they want. What's this then? The Paladins resorting to bringing in outsiders to try and decipher my work.
He sneers at you. His spectral form bears impressions of severe burn injuries.
No matter. You'll fail just like them. I was the High Cryptographer for the entire Magister Order. Do you think I rose to that position by spilling the secrets of my trade to the first who asked? Coded letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm dead, you'll never decipher any of it. My work will out... My task was to protect secrets, not to interpret them. But let me say this. The notion that we would have anything to do with the Black Ring is absurd. Patently absurd. My very life's work was to hide key intelligence from the light of both sun and source. What I know and what I have seen shall remain in shadow.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry scowl.
Desperate measures made necessary by the treacherous actions of our so-called allies. My encryption guards the most important secrets.
A combination lock is embedded into the face of the hatch with 4 numbered dials. A sequence of numbers has been engraved on the face of the mechanism. 1, 3, 2, 4. Below each of the 4 dials, the first dial must be set. The mechanism clicks. The second dial has the same 4 phrases to select from. The mechanism clicks once the third dial bears the same options as before. Another click. One last dial remains, with the same phrases as all the others. The final dial. Then, deeper within the mechanism, the sound of the hatch yields. Click.
No, it can't.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
They must have many secrets to go to all these lengths. That didn't sound...
There's something behind this painting.
There's some mechanism at work behind these walls.
Careful now. That's a
There's
trap.
some mechanism at work behind these walls. There's something behind this painting.
I've spotted a trap.
There's some mechanism at work behind these walls.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
I need to get clever with this lock. Look out. I see a trap nearby.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
The list in the records is a long one. It bears many familiar names. People you met, people you fought, people who were...
These people deserve better than be...
Their names shall be remembered.
There's some mechanism at work behind these walls.
There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. Kemm did the trick by the sound of it.